Balaji. Welcome to Global Governance News TV. Today we'll discuss NRI and development India, non-resident India, and how they just contribute for the development of India, sitting in the other countries and thinking for India, about India. We have the very good panel today, and we'll discuss from the each angle from the every countries and try to cover the most of the major countries. Most countries are part of the G8. So we have just first I introduce you the our guest, Vandana Jinganji from the Chicago, USA. She is senior journalist and social activist. And we have Rashmi Rai. She is from UK, Scotland. I think Scotland, UK are thinking about that. So uh, uh, Rashmi Rai is very active and social field, and I am just talking about her, and I'll tell you about just the brief how just Rashmi is actively participating in the development of uh, country. Just a moment. I have some brief about her. So very briefly, this is a very long uh, uh, introduction, but a brief introduction I'll tell you. Uh, she is a prestigious title holder of Mrs. Scotland, Universe 2019 in UK, Director Alvirago Limited, professionally over 13 years of experience in the supply chain management and project management roles in UK and India. And she is a motivational speaker, philanthropist, business leader, social activist, and model. She's passionate about the environment, women, and youth empowerment and fashion. I think it covers the complete whatever personality we can say. Welcome, Rashmi Rai ji. We have Manish Tiwari ji. Manish Tiwari is just, we can say, just from the UK. I always in a will, always active for the India and UK. And he is a media professional and active in the advertising, communication, filmmaking. If you think about the complete media, you can think Manish Tiwari in UK and from the global aspect. We
Thank
have
you.
Dr. Vivek Kaul, also from the UK. This is the UK numbers. He is now, yeah, dominated the how the UK dominated earlier on the world spheres, hemispheres. Now here also UK is dominating. The Dr. Vivek Kaul. Dr. Vivek Kaul is an eminent doctor, physician, and I think a social scientist, always active for the cause of the Hindu and Hinduism. And we have or Mr. Alok Lahadji from Spain, and always talk about the European Union and European spheres. Alok ji, senior journalist, research scholar, writer, philanthropist, as well as the social activist also from the Spain. And we have Rakesh Tiwari ji. He's living in Toronto, Canada. And just you look at just always talking about the informally how we're looking today in the different way. But this is the style of Mr. Rakesh Tiwari, and he is a journalist by profession, author, and editor in chief of Hindi Times Media Group in Toronto. So he has just take a place. So he'll advocate for Hindi globally, sitting in Toronto in Canada. So you can understand his zeal and how the thinking about the country and about the languages. So now today we start. I think Manish ji has promised to take some time. You have just you are going. See, he is on the wheel. So I'll take from the Manish Tiwari. Manish, yeah, the light is not there. I think you
Yeah,
are in
just
car. Yeah,
just give me
I know
one
you.
minute. We'll
You
just
may be in
connect.
tunnel. Maybe
Tunnel. Yeah,
tunnel. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Tunnel. Yeah.
yeah. I can get it. So no issue. So I think uh, in between I start from the Vandanaji. In between he'll come out of tunnel and I'll take from him. Vandanaji, how do you think the NRI about the NRI? If I talk about the NRI contribution to the Indian economy has been significant last year. The World Bank estimated India's remittance to the highest in the world, standing USD 79 billion, followed by China and Mexico at USD 67 billion and USD 36 billion respectively. So country's remittances grew by 14% in 2018, and going by past trend, it is only likely to increase in the coming years. So NRI has hold an important role to play the development of the country. Every year, thousands of Indians migrate to the other countries in the search of the better prospect for themselves and their loved ones back home. NRI money transferred to India as a channelized toward the better education, healthcare, investment, savings, and more. Often NRI in the supporting charities and have been instrumental in providing the financial assistance in times of the natural disaster like the recent floods, provision of the better facilities, access to wealth raises the standard of the living of their families and positively impact on the Indian economy. So how just think sitting in Chicago many years, always here. Now, so thank you, Viren Sharma ji. I am waiting for him. Welcome. As today, my special request he attended. Always say, you, there is no introduction to Viren Sharma ji, Member of Parliament from UK, and is 4 times and more Member of Parliament, first Indian elected House of Commons. So I welcome Virenji. We all are waiting for you. When you come, then we'll start. So I think in
thank you very
between,
much. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
So I think how I introduce the subject. So I can repeat how the role of NRI and how they contribute for the India. And you are the if I read about the Viren Sharma ji. So this is a very long bio, but in short, I'll just I'll read before all of us. All are the learned people. The first generation Indian in the House of Commons of UK Parliament, 2007 to till date. And it was the first elected British MP in the Ealing South Hall by election 19 July 2007. Viren Sharmaji's arrival in UK Parliament was the end of the one long chapter of public service and beginning of another. Since 2007, he has been elected 4 more times. In 2017, he was re-elected with the majority of the 22,000, the largest for any MP in the Ealing South Hall, and 2019 more than 60% for all voter cast. When the sentiment of UK, despite the all negative sentiment for the Labour Party, but Viren Sharma elected like anything, support of the all communities. So I've been just been in the South Hall, his constituency, and with the on foot about more 5 kilometers. Oh, I have seen. So we can just make a sketch, a film. Rakesh Tiwari ji will both go there and make a documentary on that, how they have impacted the people. So this is a work, really. So I'm proud of the Indian British MP like Viren Sharma ji. I'm proud of all of you, Alok Lahad ji, Manish Tiwari ji, Rashmi Rai ji, Vandana ji. So I think you just came. I introduce you all. Vandana Jhingan ji, senior journalist from the Chicago, USA. Dr. Vivek Kaul is from your UK. Rashmi Rai is from the Scotland. She is also very active person and director of so many companies. She is model, Mrs. Scotland 2019. Rakesh Tiwari ji from the Toronto, Canada. Alok Lahad ji from the Spain. He is senior journalist and social activist, philanthropist. And Manish Tiwari you must know, so no need of introduction. Manish ji also in London. So I was just starting to. So I take from you, and then you will be the last one. Viren ji.
Okay.
Virender ji has
You
really
want me
helped
to-
Indian diaspora so many times.
Yeah. So I think you start,
Great
and then
person.
I'll take, and then you are the last wind up session. Both you have to just I'll conduct for you. Ji. So how just you think? How do you feel the NRI contribution for the development of India, and what is just any hurdles you feel regarding the development, Viren ji?
Me. First, thank you very much, Rakesh, for asking me. And when I look at the camera now and
Yeah.
the faces I come across,
Hmm.
I think that they know better than what I, especially the relationship between India and Britain, diaspora's role in building up the relationships.
जी.
Correct.
I am Indian origin. I was born in India, brought up in India. I was about 20 when I came to Britain. Now I'm here for over 52 years. My life is more into service or politics, whatever the term people likes to use. I take it public service. Manish is here, who we have interaction nearly every other day on issues in Britain and particularly in India. Uh, there's two things. One is Indians, as there's an old saying that you can take Indian out of India, but you can't take India out of Indians. So that's where every Indian, for different reasons, now emotionally more close to India than it could be about 100 years ago. When the people migrated to Mauritius and the West Indies, if you look at the aviation at that time, poverty, and many other issues, people never went back. Now, due to the improved aviation system, communication systems are better. I always say here that where the people used to come, the whole village used to come out that he is leaving village, probably he never come back. Now you can go back to your own village 2 or 3 times a year. You can afford it and you can go and see it. So that's why the passion for India is there. And that's not the issue. We don't have to go and encourage people to show love to India and keep a relationship with India, whether it is educational, whether it's a trade, whether it's cultural. The only thing which is the majority, and I think that it is a little bit controversial, but being an Indian born and I know the system, how it functions, lot of children who go back on holidays, visit their ancestors, say grandparents or other family members, when they come back, because of the system there, transport system, general administrative systems, they don't get inspired by that. I think it is important that whenever I speak to the ministers and others, I say that they have to improve that. Uh, but I think that is only one barrier which is stopping us migrating back to India or investing in India by the Indians. So that's where it is important, and I look forward to hearing everybody. But I'm glad that you initiated this topic, and I think it should be again in the future. We should run more sessions like that so that we have the
Yeah,
awareness and also
of
grow the
course, of
association.
course. Okay. Thank you. So just after UK, I'll go to America. So, Vandana ji, how just you see the role of NRI for the development of India, and how just you thinking, how you contributed and contributing?
They say when the child is born, the umbilical cord is cut, but our cord's never been cut, to be very honest. It still stays with India. And Bharat, when we talk about a nation that I think almost all of us been born there, so what it has given us a culture which has been recognized in the Western world, to be very honest. Later came the technology and the contribution of we, the people of diaspora. I'm going to be talking on the perspective from the North America, I mean US basically, because and can add from Canada, North America. If you talk about every sixth person who is a physician here, he's of Indian origin. If you talk about IITians, so there was one statement, an IITian joins the IIT by mind, he migrates 5 years early, his body follows later. And Silicon Valley is one example. We all know that. We do have largest tech companies. We do have CEOs of them. There is so much of innovation in the field of IT. Now we are seeing, because UK is ahead of India, so they already have the 4th generations. Ours is also coming third to the fourth generation. Earlier, people used to go Valayat jana hai to England jate the, but now people look for US, land of opportunity. Let this be nuclear treaty when India needed it the most. We, the people from diaspora, did our strong lobbying. Then we want there should not be any sanction to India because Bharat is a country which has never invaded anybody. We are the peace-loving people and we embrace everybody. Every religion of the world feels very secure home. So that was a job of diaspora. Bharat, the government of India, MEA sends one ambassador to one country, then the consul generals, various depending on the size of the country. And this is also reciprocal, like how many. But each and every person of this skin tone is the ambassador, and I've been always educating that. They come, they go, but we are the people, those who are going to be staying. So we do have a responsibility. And if we talk about our rights, we do have our duty. Now we are doing our duty because there are certain things which has happened after like engagement with MEA that has come very open, transparent, and they care about. It is not about like writing checks, contributing to families or investing in India. It is about connecting to India. But we should be taking no Bharat ko janiye, those kind of quizzes for the second generation, for the third generation, for the fourth generation. It is very important because you can just take them with you. Board the plane, 15 hours, you are in Delhi, take them tour around, but that's not connectivity because the connectivity is when they get engaged. So this government from 2014 onwards, what I'm seeing it, the engagement which has been there. So that is very, very important, and they are actually giving opportunity if the kids they want to go and study in Bharat. So they do have that kind of programs also, and I want to thank government of India, but much more is needed, and that they are because there are so many schemes that they have. It should reach the masses, like registration of people, and we will do our dharma. I must say that as the person, because it's a curse to my Janam Bhumi, and everybody is doing it. If somebody doesn't, we shake them up. India is reaching at 75. The celebrations are going to be on. It is already on. So many speeches, so many lectures, series of it, and celebrations. We are planning very big too, and we take pride in ourselves that we were born in that land. Thank you.
So nice. So I'll just come to the Manish ji, Manish Tiwari. How just Vandana ji just stated that now is time for the next generation. How will educate them? How just nourish them with the facts about the India ethos, culture, and all? How do you think? And what you are just contributing now, Manish Tiwari ji? I think you, yeah, please.
Yeah. Hi.
No, yeah,
Okay.
mic was muted actually. Yeah.
Sorry. So,
Please.
as I was saying, this is the first time historically that we have in the United Kingdom 3 ministers who are in the key posts: the Home Minister, Pete Patel ji, the Finance Minister, who's Rishi Sunak, and we have the Environment Minister, Alok Sharma. 3 key cabinet posts have been given to people of Indian origin. But that is historical. That has never happened before. And this is not just in India. We can see what's happening in the Biden administration.
When Prime Minister will be the Indian origin?
Totally.
Virender ji was a front runner for that. He could have been Prime Minister, provided he changed to Conservative Party. But I'm sure his loyalty will continue with Labour Party.
Virender Bhai is right person in wrong party. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, he's a man of principle, so he's going to do with Labour Party. But the flavor of the time is the Conservatives have come to power. So we still can hope that someone like Priti Patel or Rishi Sunak can possibly be the future Prime Minister. There's still, there's a lot of hope for that. It's possible. and there are other Indian budding Indian politicians. And the point I was trying to make is that it's not just the UK; it's there in Biden administration. All the key people Joe Biden said the other day in his administration actually are Indian, from his scriptwriter to his personal staff to the person running now, I believe, some of the key health initiatives. Indians have come up a long way. They're no more the geeks. They're no more just the IT guys, or as it used to happen earlier, they used to be the doctors, accountants, and IT guys. And now this generation has taken the lead. We are also political force to reckon it. We also policymakers. We're also shaping how the world moves forward. So this is historical. This is a great time. But at the same time, regarding development of India, a lot needs to be done because with the Indian culture is being lost.
Yeah.
The BJP government, I would say, has taken some positive initiatives with that. But somewhere the connection which we had, like I was born in India, just like Jayendra, we have a much bigger connect with India, and we feel for the country. But the second and third generation might not feel the same way, because somewhere bureaucracy which is existing in India is not very welcoming. Although there's a lot of investments happening, but the way the country moves is still the old school. So now the laws, some of the laws which are there in India are the British laws, which have been abolished in Britain more than 50 or 100 years back. But those laws are still in existence in India, and those are the things which the Indian government needs to look at to ensure that the second and third generation, the young Indians, feel about the country in the same way.
Okay, thank you, Manish ji. Alok ji, just living in Spain and long years, and you have been just writing and research and all. So how just analyze how the Manish ji mentioned about the loggerheads in the bureaucracy? That was already promised by 2001 when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was started the PBD, Pravasi Bharati Divas. And after the 17 years, and I think 19 years, the one window system is not just upheld now. How do you analyze the situation?
Like the situation,
yeah, please.
The situation vis-a-vis NRIs and government of India, I think it is diluted over the years. I will be critical of the Modi government, because what the good work which Vajpayee ji started off, it was carried on by the later governments. But and they came up with in the beginning we had this the second passport kind of a thing, which is called Overseas Citizen of India, OCI card.
OCI card,
and
yeah.
Now the OCI card has been diluted 3 or 4 months ago. There was some kind of a confusion in the beginning. In the beginning, they said that there is this OCI card is lifelong. You don't have to renew it. The embassy people did not know much about what was happening. So people who, let's say, the passport changed, because passport has a duration of 5-10 years. Let's say your passport, gets renewed, so you get a new passport number. So what happens in that case? So we were discussing with the embassy people, and we said like it should be based on your residence card. And in case you have a residence card, the residence card number normally does not change in Europe and other countries. So why don't you do it? And suddenly we came up with this surprise from Ministry of External Affairs, which said that after 50 years, you have to get a new PIO card, OCI card now. Earlier it was
card,
PIO card. Yeah.
It's going to be improved now, as I heard.
Yeah. Have been placed on the NRIs. Whereas I think right now, like as the earlier speaker said, the NRI which is coming out, like any diaspora person is coming out in Europe, it is not typically what the IT person, or as we were called in the beginning, the cyber coolies. It is not that. It is not even the medical profession people. Lots of people, if you see right now, are into business. I mean, if we talk about UK, it is said that 20% of the billionaires in UK are of Indian origin, and the count could be more. But lots of Indians don't want their name to figure in the billionaire list. And I'm not saying that in Spain, if we limit ourselves to just Spain, the diaspora is very small. It's not very big diaspora. But what I'm trying to tell you is that with France, for example, we've had a historical relationship. Pondicherry, as you know, was a colony of France, and in Goa also there's a lot of Indian diaspora, basically because Goa also had a historical relationship with India. Same with UK and even Holland. Although Holland there is not much of a diaspora, but let's say if we talk about Spain, every day there are more and more people from Indian origin which are coming here, and nobody had ever. If you talk to a journal Indian and you tell him this is the world map, tell me where is Spain, they would know. Even tourists now they're coming to Spain from India. And not only this, I would like to tell you with the little diaspora we already have a person of Indian origin who is member of the equivalent of Rajya Sabha, which is the Senate. So we already have a senator of Indian origin, and he's also doing a wonderful job. His name is Mr. Robert Massey, and he's doing a fantastic job in putting the diaspora together. And we also made an Indian cultural center. So we're doing some stuff here. I'm telling you, like, we can't compare our diaspora with what it is existing in Canada or United States, or let's say in UK also. But what is happening with the little diaspora which is there, we are making an impact. For example, let's say you come down the main street uh, uh, in Barcelona. It is called as Ramblas, which is the most popular street. On Ramblas, you'll just see two kind of business people. One are of the Indian origin, and the second are multinationals.
Okay.
So, and Indians did not come here from India. It is very strange. Indians came here in majority from Africa. And they came to Spain and they started off their businesses. And I can also tell you that one of the electronics brand in Spain by the name of Sogo, it is owned by an Indian. And then we
Great.
have Indians in the Canary
Oh, nice.
Islands. In the Canary Islands, they talk about three cultures. They talk about the Spanish culture, they talk about the Moroccan culture, and they also talk about the Indian culture. So you will see even in countries like Spain, which did not have a historical relationship with India, the Indian diaspora is doing very fine. And as I said, like in the United States, what happened is after the Jews, I think the most prosperous community of immigrants is Indians. And I think it could be similar in in Spain, because the diaspora in general is working in business. Majority of them have their own businesses, small businesses or big businesses. And there are people who own five-star hotels. They're not running it themselves. There are five-star hotels which have been sublet to big chains because you're not a technical person to run them. But what I'm trying to tell is that the general diaspora of India and Spain is very well off. And
Okay.
we are doing our job. And I think the government of India should give them more leverage rather than cutting their wings, because I'm certain we'll be able to help India and the Indian image abroad.
So one thing just I pointed out here, our leader of the today and always, and this elder brother, Viren Sharma is here. So whatever you mentioned about just for the government, so we'll hope just whatever you mentioned, all the intellect person here, so they will just compile the facts and also send to the government of India and the Prime Minister. So that will be a good help for this program also, with the mentioning the who is putting the suggestion and how just the problem. I just talking about the Alokji from Spain, just about the OCI card and whatever. So we hope so. So now I'll take Rasmi Rai, as well as the Miss Universe, Mrs. Universe, and as well as the entrepreneur, philanthropist, and just businesswoman of the Scotland. So we're proud of just your Indian is there. So how just you analyze your role for the contribution of India as well as where you are living now as an entrepreneur. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Rakesh ji, first of all, for having me here. And I'm meeting all the wonderful diaspora people with different facts about their own countries. I am in UK, part of Scotland, but as you mentioned so many times about the Mrs. Scotland Universe 2019. So I would love to start with that, first of all. I represented Scotland in Mrs. Universe in 2019. I went through the national pageant and then I went to the international. So why I'm telling this is because there was one of the I think Vandana ji, she mentioned about the personal grooming of youngsters, or how do we do that into the youngsters? How do our youngsters get into that culture? So it's not very far that I have been part of UK. It's just 6 years I'm in UK. But when I entered into the pageant, my first thing that came to my mind was, how do I represent India? So my national costume was a peacock dress and a peacock. The relevance that I showed was that peacock is immune to any venomous, thing. So, and whatever venom it takes on, it develops into the beautiful feathers. That is the outcome of a peacock. So that's how I did represent India there, where there were so many other ladies who did represent a part of UK, part of any. There are so many representations, but then I was the one who got the National Costume Award for representing India in such a beautiful way. So this was one part, and then eventually how my journey as a youngster got into was because I am a supply chain managing consultant, and my major roles are around supply chain in the IT companies favorably. So I've worked in a service company, I worked in a product company, I have got a complete exposure. Now I do see that during these times, there have been 6,500 new jobs that are going to come up for the Indians in UK, because the government is investing £1 billion to the new UK-India trade, which is just wonderful. Now, this gives like Infosys, HCL Technologies, Emphasis, all of these are creating 1,000 jobs in UK. So if each company is creating 1,000 jobs, there are so many people who would be willing to come and have the exposure outside. And once they have the exposure, they will start investing in India. They will know what India is basically, how rich resources are in India. So this is my thought process. Now, getting on to that, because I also have the IT background, I did think, how do I socially get these things moving? So my pageant journey, my IT journey, and then this journey is even more beautiful because now I am associated with Wiki. Wiki is about the India UK Business Council for Women's, India Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So this is led by Krishna Pujara ji in UK, and I'm the vice president in Scotland, leading Wiki. So through Wiki, what we are going to do is we are going to boost the businesses, build empowering ecosystems for women entrepreneurship, because women are the one, they are to be more educated. They have to bring themselves forward, and women are no less in anything now. So in today's scenario, if we see, to realize the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, which Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is talking about most of the time. So Atmanirbhar Bharat is what? How do we upskill the women?
Yeah.
So Wiki is one forum where we are doing that upskilling, because Wiki is we have alongside All Ladies League, Women Economic Forum. Very recently, we had a very big economic forum of Wiki and She Economy. This is especially an
So you're doing for something for Atmanirbhar Bharat, if I am right. Yeah, okay. So nice of you, just taking the cause of Prime Minister Narendra Modi just for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So I'll take from the call from the Toronto, Canada. How just you see is just doing something for Atmanirbhar Bharat, just taking the agenda of Prime Minister. So how Rakesh Tiwari ji was analyze the agenda for a Prime Minister in Canada, how just comparatively think about the development of where you are and development of India.
Well, thank you so much, Kumar Rakesh ji, and I listened to all the great.
I think your network is now good. It's not come and go.
Yes, it's better now. So I hope you are able to hear me. And so your subject is very interesting, and it will make the interest of other NRIs whosoever they are listening, because that's our interest. I'm an NRI, and a lot of panelists who are here in this program, they are also NRI. So I'll talk about NRI, and then I will talk about the development of India, which you mentioned that what the present government is doing. So let me say this: NRIs have been ignored all the way, even after the independence till even now. I will say that the Pravasi Bharati Divas, which was mentioned, it was came as a great ho-ho. I will say it was just barely window dressing, in my humble understanding. Just a window dressing where you get some people from this country, that country, who are over there. They did some work. You give them some bouquet to you honor them, and even a lot of people, they go there, they come here, they say the mismanagement was so much. People were running around here to there, and a lot of fuss was there. People who were selected, even there was a lot of I will say quota and giving the bribery and this and that. A lot of things were there. But let me address a couple of things which is very essential as an NRI and for the development of India. India should have an NRI ministry, especially only for the NRIs.
There are ministries.
Let me complete.
They are a ministry.
I'm just NRI special. Let me complete.
Yeah.
So there should be, and their cases of NRI should be dealt with the priority. We are the abandoned kids of India. We are here. We came for whatever the reasons we had it. We came here, and still India is in our heart. Bharat is in our heart. My apology for saying India. Okay, Bharat is in our heart. Hindustan is in our heart. But when we go there, we are afraid somebody can put some charges, anything, and you get drowned. Another very important thing which I would like to mention is this, that all the NRIs who are here, they should be given the passport, I will say that citizenship of India as well. A lot of countries have done it. Canada has done it. US has, a lot of countries, Israelis have done it. If India, as it claims that we are...
You're talking about the dual citizenship.
I'm talking about dual citizenship. I'm talking about dual citizenship. Thanks for clearing up. Thanks for clearing it out. But dual citizenship. Israelis are the best, I will say, at this time, the suitable model for NRI issues, which is there. They are, Jewish people who are anywhere in the world. They are connected with Israel. Israel works through them. Israeli lobby is very strong everywhere in the world, in Canada, US, and UK, and everywhere. While we are, because we are ourselves abandoned by our own government. We try to do so much. India, for Bharat, Hindustan, we try to talk and do whatever is possible. But meantime, we are let down by our own Mahan Bharati Sarkar and the bureaucrats of it. Let me say upfront here, you brought the subject which is close to our heart. We give the information. We try.
We'll continue the session. No problem. On a weekly show we can do it.
Last thing I want to mention.
Next time, try to invite some minister also. Don't worry.
Last line. In my humble understanding, about 7 to 8 years back, I had a data, and you guys can correct it. The data was that around 35 million Bharati Apravasi Hindustani living abroad, and they are contributing to the Bharat and Hindustan's economy by $95 billion every year. And who we are? You come when you, let me use this word particularly in Hindi. आए हो तो क्या लेके आए हो, जा रहे हो तो क्या देके जाओगे? Thank you.
Sir, USD 79 billion, sir. Not 95.
It was 95 billion, maybe become less.
I'm giving you a latest data by 2018 now, actually. If you're talking the data, that's right. I corrected you. Yeah.
So, आए हो तो क्या लेके आए हो, जा रहे हो तो क्या देके जाओगे? That's the attitude towards the Apravasi Bharati. Thank you.
I think I tried to correct some facts. There is a OIA, Overseas Indian Affairs Ministry in the government of India, especially dealing with the NRI issues and all.
Who's the honorable minister for it?
It was
I
there,
think no-
but no, it was there. It was created. Overseas
Sorry, I
minister,
don't-
because it was Ravi Vailalar. He was the minister, but it was again
no,
merged back with
Madam,
MEA.
no. That is department. Ministry is one, Ministry of External Affairs. There are the 5 departments in Mr. External Affairs, and now we have the 4 MOS in the new setup. One minister.
We need a
Dr.
full-fledged
Jaishankar.
cabinet minister for NRIs.
Sir, actually, I am talking about this is a department, and whatever you need, we have already under the chairmanship of Viren Sharma ji. Now he is this session, he is chair. So I think whatever you address, that should be come through that route, and
Will
we
you
does
pass me the
also.
buck from being a host and anchor now?
Sir, I am host anchor. Sir, very honorable Viren Sharma ji, already just he is sharing this already program I am conducting today.
Okay, well, I
Okay.
hope you heard me
What-
loud and
whatever-
clear.
whatever
We
you-
want
whatever
NRI
you
ministry, and we
Sir,
want
what-
the dual citizenship for all the NRIs.
Sir, your suggestion accepted with the great
Oh,
heart.
wow. Thank
And
you so much. Sorry, this
sir,
is a great breaking news.
Sir, we'll try to communicate Dr. Rajasankar as well as PMO as well as Rashtrapati also, Vice President also.
Okay.
What I can do, I can do.
Well,
Matter of communication,
Thank
no
you. Thank you,
issue.
sir.
So
Thank
now
you, sir.
Dr. Vivek Kaul. Yeah, I think he should not be last, not the least. But Dr. Vivek Kaul has a lot of patience. I salute his patience. But today,
Not the patience.
yeah.
I am a man of few words. I will tell you few things which all of you will agree.
So
One is
nice
what
of you,
this
sir. Please.
Canada gentleman has said a right thing. हम Indians का क्या nature है? We want to see our co-Indian in the extreme sakti. Help नहीं करेंगे. जैसे Jews है ना, Jews anywhere in the world, if they walk into Israel, they are giving Jewish citizenship. वो attitude, can-do attitude, positive attitude, we lack. We Indians lack it. अगर वो positive attitude आ जाएगा ना, India कहाँ का कहाँ पहुँच जाएगा. Another thing which I want to tell is about Virendra Sharma ji. I always wanted to talk to him. We know each other because I always go to Parliament, and the poor chap is always batting for India and still getting galis from Indians.
No,
बेचारे मतलब मैं बोलता हूँ
20-second interruption, Vivek ji. 20-second interruption. आपकी बात को ऐड कर रहा हूँ. Just I'm trying to add something in your themes. We all advocate for Viren Sharma ji for the more things, and let us you proceed.
अभी सुनिए,
Please.
Virendra
Yeah.
Sharma ji has so much experience and he has been underutilized. I'm sorry to say this. 2 things he can do for India and India will change throughout the world. एक तो जो बांग्लादेश के जो ये जितने भी diplomats हैं, they are so clever and they so work thoroughly. They have reduced the tariffs all over EU. Virendra Sharma ji is the best person to reduce textile and other tariffs for India. Is the game changer. You know, India have to pay 20-30% tax when the things come to EU. Bangladesh pays 0 tax. That is why Bangladesh textiles, cotton come from India and Bangladesh has to pay nothing to EU and America. So Virendra Sharma ji has to be the chairperson for that lobbying so that India comes at par with Bangladesh on the tariffs, so that there are no tariffs. Full stop. Second, where Virendra Sharma ji can help us is in the generic medicine. Generic medicine में India is the cheapest and the best. उसमें भी there are so many barriers in EU and these ministers go to WTO. They are not successful. But person like Virendra Sharma ji, who has got he has got a bipartisan friendship, and even in EU, he can really help. Third place where NRIs via Virendra Sharma ji can help India and change India is about our healthcare. Unfortunately, India has got this insurance healthcare dual. Garib go to Garib and rich are forced to go pay through their nose to this Americanized insurance scam system in India. We have to have an NHS, a National Health Service kind of, medical treatment in India, which only Britishers, I can be a part of with Virendra Sharma ji, we will change India's health sector overnight. We have doctors, we have nurses, they just have to be amalgamated into a system where every Indian will be treated in the hospital in the same way. It's a basic necessity that everybody should have a health care. So I force,
So nice.
I want
So nice.
Virender Sharma ji to do all these things. I will not leave him. He is not to be used for Kashmir, chalta rehta hai. But he can
No, no.
change India's fortune
Are you
because of
voted
his
for Viren Sharma ji or
personality.
not? Vivek ji, are you
Huh?
voted for Viren Sharma? Are you voted for Viren Sharma ji or not?
I'm not in Ealing, but I am a great
No,
fan of Virender Sharma ji.
Okay, so nice of you. Thank you. Something, Alok ji,
I
want to
He's
add?
got
great.
Please,
I got
sir.
internet
Please.
problem.
Let
So
Virender
I'm
Sharma
breaking
ji
up.
say something.
Yeah, please, sir.
Let Sharmaji say something, then I'll add.
Ah.
I only say and suggest, always there to assist. I know everything. I'm happy to work with anybody. As far as I initially said, trade, economical relationship with India and Britain, both ways.
Correct.
Okay, now it should not be just India and Britain. You should be working on European level. I think
I said
unfortunately
EU.
now UK, okay, EU. But Britain has done a Brexit, so which kind of hampers the interest of the diaspora which is living in the rest of Europe. But nevertheless, you have good contacts. You can help people in doing that. And the point which I want to add is one thing which is very, very important, and we are not thinking on those lines, is there are lots of students who are coming. The students who are coming, or the convalidation of their degrees, it is a heck of a problem for all these youngsters who are coming. They are full of zeal and they have very high degrees. I was surprised to see, we organized a meeting of the students here in Barcelona, and I was surprised to see so many boys and girls. They were studying, doing their PhDs out there. Their PhD is valid, but their BA degree or their MA degree is not convalidated in the European system. What are we waiting for? Why can't we have the London School of Economics has a direct connection with the Delhi School of Economics? No convalidation is needed. The Indian education system is very robust and very strong, and I don't see any reason why European universities or schools or the governments, because this has to start with the governments itself. Lots of
Correct.
Indians are coming to Europe to study. Even in Spain, when they don't know Spanish, they learn Spanish and then they do. UK is a huge, big market for them. Now, keeping this in mind, that Indians are spending billions of dollars or euros,
Okay.
better say. Why don't they get the importance they should be given just by convalidating their degrees? And this diaspora could be the next generation, let's say British or Germans or whoever you want to call them. We should give lots of importance to the young boys and girls of India. That's my suggestion.
Okay, thank you. Viren Sharma ji, something to want to add? You something want to add, Viren Sharma ji? How on the education system and how just they're facing the problem?
I'm having this internet problem.
But
I'm suggesting here. I'm suggesting one thing. We can all meet together.
Yeah.
Britain. I'm more than happy.
I know.
Casey, you can put my number on the
Okay,
internet,
no problem.
and
No problem.
most of
I'll share the number. No problem.
Yeah,
No
share
problem.
my number.
Yeah.
People from Britain, all my friends here tonight, Manish already knows me,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I'm happy to sit together. I'm not saying
nice.
to lead the campaign, but I'm happy to work with you to find the best ways to create that environment where we can bring friendship, a relationship. We can bring economic prosperity to the both sides. Present Britain needs every help, India needs, and the India is in a better position to give help. So we can work together on that.
Okay, so nice. So Manish ji, just as you mentioned previously, how Rakesh Tiwari said, and you were just supporting the cause, the role of bureaucracy in India. And I think in 2001, when the PVD started, so that was that time when resolution was passed unanimously from all the countries for one window system. I think, why not all you from the different countries just send the letter to the Prime Minister office and the MEA, EM, Dr. Shankar, for that one Indo system should be restored and open just for the NRI, whatever they want to do. What do you think?
No, absolutely. Absolutely,
Correct, right.
Rakeshji. So, one thing I wanted to say was I used to keep my Indian passport till very late. I mean, I still have my Indian passport. But now I'm forced to take on a British passport. I never wanted to do it, but keeping an Indian passport is not convenient at all, traveling to Europe and many other countries in the world.
Traveling wise, yeah. Traveling wise, yes.
Traveling wise, it's not convenient.
Yeah.
So finally, I've taken on a decision to take a British passport because that makes life much easier. But I did think long and hard about it. And I wished that Indian government would allow you to keep your Indian passport because I was born in India. I would never like to give it away. And some of the points which were made today about dual citizenship, OCI, and the complications which are being created when NRIs have been model citizens all over the world, they've contributed towards India. They need to be made to feel that they belong to India and not the other way. So I think the bureaucrats and the government need to take cognizance of that. Mr. Vajpayee had understood this very well, but the present government, in spite of being seen as friendly, is working to the contrary. So I think this is something which we need to address for sure.
Okay, something to add, Rashmi and Vandana ji, on this aspect?
I'm going to say something. Rashmi, you go ahead.
Yeah, Rashmi, please.
For me, I would only say that the consulate of Edinburgh is very new. We are just getting to know about how the relations are between Scotland and India. As of now, it has been very good, and from the Scottish government also, we have very good support especially for Indians. And whatever festivals we do celebrate, there is full participation from there, and there is full cooperation. But similarly, like all the others, about the OCI card is one of the major concerns for me as well, because I'm also not taking my British passport for the same reasons that I don't want to lose out on my Indian passport. If something can be done around that, that will be wonderful. That will keep us connected to India, and as we are working, we'll do more towards it. But apart from that, we all the people, the Indian diaspora here, is really working hard to promote the Indian culture in whatever ways we can. So yeah, that's it from my end.
Okay. Vandana ji.
As we say, Tiwari ji had mentioned, Tiwari ji from Canada, that people of diaspora should not be treated as a cash cows, to be honest, number one. And it is an emotional thing when some people have to render their passport. It might not have mattered me so much, to be very honest. To me, it's a piece of paper, because, okay, I'm doing my dharma. Like, they may have some obligations. They are working on it. Earlier, there was no PIO card. Then came PIO card. Then PIO was converted to OCI. There are still hiccups. They are working on it. We can understand. But how long that it takes for somebody to fill the OCI application form? If anybody, even if the chief executive in the MEA, I'm just saying that, he can fill that OCI application in one go, Vandana will renounce her US citizenship. I'm just saying that. This is such a nightmare, which they are doing it. But it should be, because they have such a brain in India. Why they are not sitting on it? Just pick up a US application for the passport. It just takes me less than 5 minutes to fill up the US passport application. 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. And I will do it right sitting next time on your show.
So now in Indian passport filling also very now not complicated, very easy now.
I am talking about OCI application. You go from here, go to this one, then you fill this picture, this size, you resize it. Let me just finish that.
Please.
Then what happens? All the people are not IT savvy. My mother is standing next to 84 years old. How will she be able to fill that application? She needs sometimes my help. I am just sharing my personal experience. When I filled my OCI application, it was middle of the night, 2:30 a.m. Chicago time. I called my brother who was 2 hours behind me in California, I told him, I am successful right now. I know how to do it. Let me do yours, because before it gets over my mind. And that is
Correct.
what like, we could finish that. And it is very complicated. They have to look into it. Many times this has been brought. And the role of ambassadors and the consulates, it has to be more proactive. They are here for we people. They are not there for themselves to settle their families. Thank you very much.
So nice. Rakesh Tiwari ji's finger is
Correct.
on. So please, Rakesh Tiwari.
I think thank you so much for letting me come and say my thoughts. Again, I'll repeat and I will try to.
How you agree with the inputs from the Vandana ji? My
Well,
question to you.
Vandana ji agreed with me, and I'm agreeing with Vandana ji. But let me say this, she already spoken. So I'm going to say what is essentially right now, as she mentioned, this has to be addressed. Let's just think about it, that when we go from here and when we are here, while we want to give everything what we have for Bharat and Hindustan, we have been treated just okay. Get, as she mentioned, the cash cow. That's how we feel, and we are not one person, over 35 million people who are living abroad. Now, another part: why can't the Bharat Sarkar, Hindustani Sarkar, can have a special NRI ministry for over 35 million people? For God's sake, you will create a country. 35 million is Canada is a country. 35 million Bharati, Apravasi Bharati living outside, and you are making a small department and thumping your chest. You are doing so much great for Apravasi Bharati while they are doing everything for them. That's one. The another part which I mentioned, the passport. This should be the mistake is with us too, with mistake with us NRIs too. We are not united. And Hindi Times Media, I said it before, I'm saying now too. We are devoting ourselves towards this cause, that one day government of Bharat, not India, and Hindustan will listen to us, because else they are going to be as the way they are. A lot of countries have been built by the NRI, and not NRI means non-resident of that country, be it Israel, be it any another country in the world. But we have very, very selfish approach.
Okay, I think Rakesh Tiwari, your speech is very excellent. But what you have done till today now, have you written any letter to the government of India? Have you anything?
Really, you want to know, sir? You really want to know?
Why should the letter be? Government of India should have its own brain. Nepal, Bangladesh, and Pakistan have dual citizenship.
I think sir, contribution also.
Let's not go. Please. Let me say this. You know yourself that talking to an Indian bureaucrat and talking to an Indian...
My question to you, please. But just please listen carefully.
Yes.
Just you are given the wonderful suggestion. Bandana is also just shared her pain and whatever is technically problem and whatever is there. I totally agree with all the problems and all the experiences just you have been shared. My question is only request. Question as well as a request also. Have you been communicated to the concern in the government of India? One, if you have communicated, what happened? Two,
who are you? We have not. What will be the answer, sir? What will we communicate? What do you think will be the answer?
Pardon?
Sir,
if we write to them, what do you think will be the probable answer? What's dual citizenship?
Sir, let the answer, then I'll take answer from you also. Okay. Rakesh Tiwari, please.
Let me say this. And as some of the things you also know, which I'm not going to discuss.
Sir, my two submissions. I'll take Manish also. Manish is also doing so many things for the India and UK also.
Let me say, sir.
This is not a matter of criticize. Whatever you're giving the good suggestion for the government of India, that's a good thing for the NRI and Indian also.
Sir, let me say this. The approach of Indian bureaucrats who deals with the letters, emails, phone calls is so pathetic that I say that whenever I use this word, whenever we feel
I got your feeling. I got your feeling now.
let me
I got
just
your feeling. I got your feeling, sir. I
Rakesh
totally
ji,
agree with you.
Rakesh
I
ji,
totally agree with you.
listen to it.
Rakesh
I
ji,
totally agree. The time is running. I am
You
saying
just
time also,
need
sir.
to hear me out.
We have
ji.
only 5 minutes. We have the 60 speakers.
Okay,
Try
well,
to
I will
understand.
take 30
Sir,
seconds.
please.
I'll take 30 seconds.
Tiwari ji's suggestion is very good. But you tell us,
Sir.
if we write to government of India, what will be their attitude? Their
No, we have
attitude
done
is
writing.
always negative. Is always negative. They will say, no, it cannot happen.
They don't even
If
want
they
to
were
answer
so
it. Who are you?
clever,
Sir, they
if
don't
they were
even
so
want to answer
clever,
it.
they
Who are
would have
you?
given us dual citizenship 20 years back. It is not the question. How many countries have this PIO OCI? Only India. Among 200 countries,
Let me say,
India
Kumar
has this
Rakesh ji.
nonsense.
Sir, sorry, I have to interrupt. I have to interject.
Bangladesh,
Kumar Rakesh
Pakistan,
ji,
and Sri Lanka.
Kumar Rakesh ji.
Sir, Vivek
Sir,
ji
let me
is
say
saying.
this.
Then
You
after
should-
that, you'll tell.
Okay.
Vivek ji is saying
Sir,
something.
एक मिनट.
Dr. Vivek
Sir,
call.
देखिए.
Please.
Sir,
Please.
Bangladesh, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Nepal, they all have dual citizenship. Why only India doesn't have it? What is the problem with it? Is bureaucrats. They're jealous, bureaucrats, they're unhelpful. They do not want to help the diaspora for some reason. Otherwise, the attitude should be very friendly. If you go to
I
England,
got
ask,
it. Rashmi, you want to
MP,
add something?
ask-
I got, sir. I got your point.
I would like to.
May I, sir? It's my
Rakesh ji.
Sir, I got
And,
your point. Tiwari ji, Dr. Vivek call. Please. Yeah. Rashmi.
I would like to bring one point, Rakesh ji, definitely here as we are talking about the benefits that the NRIs are giving to India, and in return they're not getting. I was working on a project which is Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, again a project that was initiated by Prime Minister Modi ji. Now, when we initiated this project, the Consulate General of Edinburgh was there. She did all the inauguration of the project and all. But the leading lady with whom I was working into this project, when actually she went to India to talk to some ministers or somebody, she actually could not find anybody. And the people whom she was told, and when she approached them, she said, कि हमें तो नहीं पता है इस बारे में कुछ बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ के बारे में आपने क्या किया है हमें नहीं पता है जो हमें इसके बारे में
So funny. I'm with you.
This is
Sorry,
how government
I'm
of
with
India
you.
works.
It's so funny.
पेपर
So
पे
funny.
है
ऐसे ही चलता है government.
So this is
पेपर पे
the
रहता है
case.
It's always on paper.
Rashmi, sorry. On the record, I'm saying you. We need that name, the concerned official, please, for the sake of the country.
So I mean,
नहीं ऐसे बहुत है सर एक ढूंढोगे तो 1000 मिलेंगे सारे ऐसे ही हैं सर.
actually went, she traveled to India. The person who was leading the project,
My
she
God.
is an MBE. She is an MBE. मतलब उन्हें Queen Elizabeth से award मिला है social work के लिए यहाँ पे.
Okay.
And she when visited India, especially for this project in Delhi, she was like unaware. And when I asked her about this, when she came back, and because I was quite very excited, and I really
I
wanted
do
to
agree. I do agree. I do agree.
And
Rakesh ji, one small suggestion.
कुछ पता ही
Small
नहीं है.
suggestion.
Yeah, great.
Small
I got
suggestion.
it.
Can
I
this
got
lady
your
from
point.
Scott- small suggestion. Can this lady, Vandana ji, you and Virender ji make a small group and start this muhim that Indians should have dual citizenship? Full stop. We don't want this OCI, OCI.
No, sir.
He is Indian citizen. He can do that.
Sir,
Yes, we
can't
should.
do that, but
No, you can help in that committee.
No,
In the
no,
committee,
sir.
you can be there.
Dr. Vivek Kaulji, whatever you will do as an NRI, just for the sake of the development of India, I am always with you.
Correct.
So I'm not going to
Vandana
dual citizenship and single citizenship, whatever matter, that is a concern to the policy matter of the government of India. Next
No, but
program,
why should they say?
I'll-
What are their problems? You should ask them.
Kumar Rakesh ji, I would like
No,
to say something.
let me tell you. Next program, I'll try to organize with the concerned minister. It will
Correct.
maybe that as a different platform under the banner of the Global Governance News. Either whatever ad Rakesh Tiwari ji and Vandana ji has also many media house in Chicago and all. So we can jointly do for the sake of the betterment of India. There is
Because you
no
should
issue.
be there to answer because you cannot
Yeah,
speak on
yeah.
their behalf. So they should.
I
they-
can't. Sorry,
Absolutely.
I'm a media person. You are right, but I can communicate them accordingly.
yeah.
What the
Correct,
program is there, they have already sent the
पूछता है
link.
diaspora. पूछता है
No,
diaspora.
no,
Why you are
no,
sleeping on it?
No,
Yeah.
Vandana ji, we can start a weekly program on that. Take a 3 or 4 cases here, and then we can compile and send the prime minister.
Absolutely.
होना चाहिए.
No problem,
Absolutely.
no
We should.
problem. No problem. So nice of you. Thank you. Sir, attended the program. His
अच्छा
time
देखिए
is going
मैं
over
उसका
now.
बैकग्राउंड थोड़ा सा देना चाहता हूँ राकेश जी.
Congratulations.
Any Jew अरे 1 मिनट रुकिए, अरे 20 सेकंड रुकिए ना सर, 20 seconds.
Sir, please,
Any Irish
please,
person
please.
anywhere in the world, any Italian person anywhere in the world, 200 years ago, they get citizenship.
Sir, whatever country
Sir, मजा
Irish
नहीं
and
आता।
other countries doing, that was a different. Every country has own rules, so I'm not going in that. But whatever our country
अरे
rule,
नहीं, रूल
what should be better for a
उसमें तो फिर
country,
कोई चेंज नहीं होगा।
sir.
Vivek ji, let's hear from them why they are holding it. Let's hear from their perspective also. Now, हम
Actually,
अपनी
sir,
बात कर रहे हैं.
I already
But
shared
उनका-
my view. And so funny things just Rashmi Rai has shared with us are so ridiculous and so stunning. So I can't believe it. And whatever
ऐसे ही
Rakesh
होता है,
Tiwari
sir.
is saying and Manish. So just my concern is that whatever today I was not about the worth of the program. So nicely you attended and participated in this program, this NRI development of India, and I thanks to all of you just to attend this
अच्छा वो
program.
नंबर, वो
and
टेलीफोन नंबर
participate.
आपने डाल दिए?
Sir,
Telephone number.
Sir, don't worry. I'll send all of you. Not a big deal. That
Okay.
is also on site. So not a big deal. So I requested on my special request, Biren Sharma, member of Parliament,
Correct.
attended this program, and just whatever
Thank you.
view he was with us, he is with us, he will be with us. Don't worry. With so many, every country, as Alok ji said, as Spain, as we'll organize the one-to-one country and one problem and ambassador. I'm trying to do something as a role of the media person and journalist for the country. So don't worry on the aspect. But whatever you mentioned, the problem NRI and how the NRI role in the development of India, that is appreciable, that should be appreciated. And I think our Prime Minister Narendra Modi also appreciated many times the role of the NRI, that's development in India. We can't ignore it, but we know it. But as different parts of the different speaker already spoke, the role of bureaucracy, that is on the question mark, that should be strengthened, that should be corrected for the interest of our country, that is India, that is Bharat. So nice of you attended this program. Next, again, we'll meet the next new program. Thanks to the all participants and panelists, especially today our Viren Sharma, Honorable Viren Sharma ji, Member of Parliament from the UK, and Global Governance News. Thanks all of you who just part of the program. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you.
जय हिंद,
Thank you.
जय हिंद।